What is going on here? Shoot. Who is that? What is this? Oh. I'm like, is that thing fuzzy? Maybe it's not. I don't know, child. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I said, let me come in so that they will at least know that I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm here. Gizmo, you're not coming back? You're not coming back, Poo Poo? Come here. Come here, Poo Poo. Gizmo, come here. Hi, Goddess, Divine, Empress, Neteret. I know I messed that up. Hey, Monique. Oh, Miguel, him so sweet. He came, mommy. You're getting a lot more obedient lately, and I don't have any treats for you. It's kind of sad. I'm going to have to get you some treats tomorrow. You can run out of treats. I'm going to wait till we see if a few more people come in before I get started because I really hate repeating myself and people be coming in late and be like, what are you talking about? Did you already talk about so and so? Yes, I did. And I know it's not their fault because they don't get the notifications. That's YouTube's fault. Or they're just busy and don't have time to just like jump on every time I come on because I come on when I get ready. Is that bothering you? Is that yarn touching you? Okay, I moved it. I've started another scrap because I had more scraps. So I just started another um, scrap yarn scarf, but this one is not going to be a scarf. I'm going for a shawl for this one, so I want it to be at least shoulder width, like the width to be this way, like all the way here or something. I don't know. I'm going for shoulder. I'm going for shawl. This is not going to be a scarf. This is a shawl. But it's um, you know, the scrap yarn, just the yarns that I have from other projects. So this is what I have so far. So I'm working on that. It's, just leftover yarn from other projects that I've done. Are fires close to you? So Monique said that shirt is fire. This shirt is fire. It is the Lion of Judah with Bob Marley on one side and the lion on the other. And this shirt is actually from Bob Marley's company, Zion. Um, and I don't think a lot of people know that Bob Marley has a clothing, his family now owns a clothing company. They have shirts and um, I think they have jewelry. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on the jewelry. But they have shirts. They have shoes also because my husband has a pair of the shoes. But the bulk of the company is, you know, just a huge t-shirt line with, you know, just some really nice shirts with Bob Marley. So I do have a few that are actually from the clothing line. And then, I have some that are purchased from just, just regular t-shirt makers because I do own a lot of Bob Marley shirts. I mean, even though Bob Marley was a womanizer and, he had a lot of stuff going on, I still really, really enjoyed his music. And he just had a spirit that, attracted people to him. And I was one of those people. So, yeah, I do really like Bob Marley. It was because I think of Bob Marley that I really got into, the whole, uh, not Rastafarian movement, because I've never been a Rasta, but just the whole kind of like black power look, that whole thing came from my love of Bob Marley t-shirts and stuff. So, yeah, okay. So I got way sidetracked. Now, about the fires. The biggest fire from yesterday was in, I guess, Vallejo, and that is like less than an hour away from us. That fire was crazy. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of what that fire. I don't even know if it's on. Oh, I don't think I have it on this phone. Was it really that necessary? I don't. I don't have it on this phone, and I don't feel like looking for it on Facebook. But it was huge. I mean, oh, God bless these firefighters. Gizmo, I'm not gonna be fighting over you, dude. Um, God bless these firefighters because yesterday, even the firefighter said yesterday was one of the busiest days for them because it just seemed like fires were sprouting up everywhere. I'm on live, so don't be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do something to you," and blah blah blah. Um, So yeah, it was crazy. There were fires everywhere. We kept our butts in the house all day yesterday. We didn't go anywhere, and I'm kind of glad we didn't because where we normally go to the movies, there was a fire in that area, and the freeway was just backed up. It was crazy. It was just crazy over here yesterday. Like 80 was shut down in certain directions because it was a fire. The one fire was so close to the bridge, the Carquinez Bridge, that the smoke was actually going over the bridge, and it was crazy. So they had to shut the bridge down, shut down 80, and then a fire broke out in Martinez. They were just because the wind was so high. I mean, it was crazy. Like I've never seen the wind that high lasting all day like this. Just windy all. Usually here in the Bay Area, it'll be like maybe windy in the morning, and then it'll stop, and or it'll be windy in the evening, and then by morning it's gone. But this wind just lasted all day, and that is what was like fanning these fires. Like the fires were jumping freeways, and because the wind was sending the embers over the freeway, and then it would start a new fire. So it was crazy. And they were having the same thing in Los Angeles, like really big fires in LA, people, being evacuated. So yeah, California was just like we was just having it yesterday. So today is a I guess spare the air day or something. Like we went to this little Mexican restaurant that we like to go to, and we saw people out with masks and stuff because you can smell it. Even though it's, we're like a good 45 minutes away from where the fires were, because it was so much wind yesterday, you can smell it. It's in the air now. So you see people out with masks, and they're telling people that have respiratory problems. People who have asthma, COPD, and other respiratory problems to, limit your time outside. And the closer you are to where the fires were, if you're closer, then keep your butt in the house. Don't go outside. But we're farther away from it. But when I went outside, I could still smell it. So it's not like I want to just, be outside right now because you can smell all that in the air. But I say all that to say we are far enough away from it where we're not directly impacted. And just pray for the people who are. People who have to leave their homes, who have lost their homes, um, people who have lost their pets, pets that got spooked and ran away from home because they are finding dogs and cats, who have run away from the fire, who have got scared and run away from home or whatever, and people are finding them. And everybody don't have their animals chipped, so they'll end up at the pound or whatever, waiting for their family to hopefully find them. So just be in prayer, and be in prayer for the firefighters. I know they tired, because yesterday was such a busy day for them, because they get out to these scenes, and of course they're trying to stop fires from homes. So when they get to areas where fires are close to homes, they're battling there, trying to keep people from losing their homes and stuff. Because where it's burning next to the freeway, that stuff can burn. But if it's burning near homes and stuff, then yeah, the firefighters are there trying to protect people's homes and stuff. And I'm just praying for them because I know they tired, and that's a job where you can't be like, oh well, I need a 15-minute break. No, you get out here and stop these fires. So I mean, I applaud them because I am definitely afraid of fire and all of that kind of stuff. I know that that's definitely not my ministry. What you just put in the freezer?
My lunch pail.
Oh, wasn't nothing in there?
No,
Huh?
no.
Oh. So, say a prayer for the firemen and women. Don't let me forget about the women, because there are fire women, fire people, fire persons. I don't know, whatever. But women, um, also firefighters. That's it, Lashana. What is wrong with you, girl? Firefighters. So that includes the men and the women, because I know it's women out here carrying these hoses and axes and whatever else they need. They out here doing it just like the men, because we strong, and we can do all that. Them, not me, because I ain't gonna be out here. Huh?
I'm gone.
All right.
You didn't want me to say anything, so.
No, I just don't want you to say nothing crazy, because
You
I know
like
you.
I'm just gonna run downstairs and be like, my booty on fire, my booty on fire. Shoot. Like I'm gonna just.
See?
Like I'm just gonna
See?
bust out and say
There you
something
go.
crazy.
There you go. You really had to go to my booty on fire though.
But you was like, I want you to say that. Like what? What can I? Bye, lady.
Bye, sir. Call me later.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Hey, Renee. Hey, to thy own self be true. Moth Mama. So, yeah, just say a prayer for, not only the people that um, are involved, the people, but the firefighters, the dispatchers, everybody. Say a prayer for everybody and say a prayer that this wind stops because it's supposed to start up again. I think tomorrow we're supposed to have another windy day like we had yesterday. And that's what fuels these fires. It gets windy, and I don't know. I don't even understand. I've been in California my whole life, and I still don't understand how these fires get started. You know what I mean? Like I understand that the wind fuels these fires. Once the fire gets started, then the wind takes the fires to. But how the heck do these fires get started from the gate? And I know it's a whole lot of, like, if you're driving along the freeway, you do see a lot of dry brush. And even though we don't get like a whole lot of rain here, it's still really green. You know, a lot of trees and brush and flowers and all of that kind of stuff. So, there's a lot of like dry brush, I guess, or whatever. And they do have like the little goats to come out and eat stuff, trying to clear certain areas, but the goats can't eat everything. They ain't that hungry. All the goats gonna be overweight. So I don't know. I mean, we go through this every year, but it just seems like um, every year it gets worse, or the fires just get bigger, or the fires have always been this big and we just never had social media and stuff to look at it. Like, we're seeing it in real time now. I know that is a huge difference than how it used to be, where you would only see the fires like on the news at like 11 o'clock or whatever. But now that we have social media, we're seeing this stuff in real time, and it just seems so much bigger than what it used to be. But then I remember as a kid hearing about like the Santa Monica winds and the winds in LA, the winds fueling fires and stuff all of my life. So now that I'm older, and you really get to see it firsthand, it just makes a difference. Like when you're little and you hear about the winds in LA and you hear about LA fires and stuff, you don't trip off of it because you're a kid and it's like, I don't live in LA. But now that I'm an adult and I see what is really going on and see that people are literally losing everything, then yeah, it hits you harder. And yesterday I was just so emotional. You know, these are the times when I think it really sucks to be an empath. I was so emotional yesterday. I just kept thinking about people, losing their homes and thinking about how tired these firefighters are and stuff that like it just kind of like took a toll on me. And so I was just like really resting and just doing a lot of praying cuz I'm one of those type of people. If you ask me to pray for you, like I'm really going to pray for you, and if something is going on, like I'm really praying for that situation. It's just not like, oh, I say a prayer and forget about it. No, it's just constantly on my mind. I'm just, just inundated with thoughts about like what is going on. And then with social media, sometimes you have to really unplug from social media because So many people were posting pictures, oh my God, I'm on 580. Oh, I'm on 80 and the smoke is so thick and it's da 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 da. I'm over here on blah blah blah. And it's overwhelming. It was just so overwhelming yesterday. It really was. So after a while, I just had to kind of like turn my phone off, stop looking, stop, just get off of social media. Don't even look on Facebook because it was too many people on Facebook posting pictures about the fires and all that kind of stuff. And then I just like took a nap and was just kind of chilling out for a while. And then I got up and got back on social media, and it had kind of died down a little bit because I guess it had got late and it had got dark, and people couldn't post as many pictures, but like some people were still posting pictures, like, but these people were like in LA because the fires were still raging in Los Angeles, whereas here in the Bay Area they had basically got them calmed down. So yeah, that's what we are dealing with here in California. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people are purposely setting the fires or unintentionally setting the fires. I don't know. Because with certain areas being so dry, it is really easy for a fire to get started. That was why we were having that whole PG&E shut off thing. We go through this every year. Like last year, that big fire was because a PG&E thing had blew up, and sparks from that thing had started the huge fire. So I can't say that these fires are being set intentionally. Like, I don't want to believe that, and I just don't want to put that type of stuff out into the universe. So I'm not going to say that they're intentional fires, and I try not to, allow my spirit to always go to the negative when stuff like this happens. Because it's been happening in California for years. So I really just don't believe that they're, intentional. I don't want to believe that they're intentional. I don't want to say that they're being set intentionally because I don't know. So that's it. Please, Gizmo. Um, and I just don't want to believe that people know that these fires will get out of hand so quickly, especially on a day like yesterday when the wind was so high. People, that that's going to get out of hand before the firefighters can get there and put it out because it was so windy. I mean, it was so windy that the people that live in the cottage behind us, they're they have one of those, those little stands that people use like at the flea markets or whatever. You put them up, and they sell stuff with those little like stands to keep like the sun from off of you or whatever. So they were using one of those as like a carport. Okay. And I'm surprised they ain't been lost this thing. But honey, that thing flew from their car to over two other cars. I thought it was gonna go on the roof of the next apartment complex, but it flipped over so that the canopy was face down and the legs were up. So that kept it, I think, from continuing to fly. But yeah, it's still, we waiting on the maintenance man to clear all the tree debris and stuff from our walkway. And it was like tree branches and stuff in the backyard. It was stuff flying everywhere. The wind was just that high. I mean, it was howling wind. And I'm just like, what is really going on? Like, I've never seen the wind blow that hard and just last for that long here in California. It's crazy. And you know what I do be thinking is, okay, are they doing something with the weather? Like, is there some type of, weather control? Now, that I believe, because it was just too much for this particular area. And it does get windy here, but it just never seems to last that all day, all day. For California, that's for Northern California. That's a lot of wind. Southern California, they get wind because of the area, like the mountains and all of that kind of stuff. But that ain't here. That ain't in Northern California. We are closer to the water, so it's like we don't really get that kind of wind and stuff. But I don't know, child. I really don't know. Like the weather control systems and all of that. I don't know if it exists. I don't know. It just seems like it does exist because it just was weird. And it was a weird feeling yesterday. It just was a strange, like, it just felt weird. So I don't know. But I want to show you guys this. So she died. I mean, she died. Y'all see, she dead. She finally died. This was an aluminum plant. Is her name on here? It just says, oh, they're in the Pilea. Oh, she was from Vietnam. Mm. I tried everything I could for that plant. Everything. It says low light. I put her in a low light situation. She didn't like that. I put her in a high light situation. She definitely didn't like that. I had her downstairs where it is a little bit cooler. She didn't like that. I took her upstairs where it was a little bit warmer. And that's where she died. Just a whole horrible death. I mean, just leaves dropping every single solitary day. So that's one plant that I will not be repurchasing. I just won't. Once I get a plant that really, really dies on me, like that pilea, the polka dot plant, prayer plants, it's a few plants that are on my list that I will not repurchase. What are those? Alocasias. They're in like the prayer plant family. I won't repurchase them because they don't do well here. The polka dot plants, I think they are the cutest plants because they have the little pink polka dots. I cannot. I think I've tried like 3 times. The longest I've got one to live was like 6 months. But once it started on that slippery slope to death, it just kept going. And that was how this one was. Once it started dying, there was nothing whatsoever I could do. I repotted it and, put it in fresh soil, really good soil and everything. And it was still like, no, I don't think so. So it's kind of difficult, like when I lose a plant, especially when I try really hard. I could see if I wasn't trying. You know what I mean? Like if I a plant is like not responding in a certain area, I don't have a problem moving them around to try to, fit the plant's needs. Like, I'm trying to help you, girl. I ain't trying to kill you. I paid money for you, girl. I want you to live. And they die anyway. I'm like, so I just wanted you guys to know they don't always live. They don't. They die. I mean, die. Crispy death. So I'm going to dump out that soil, because you never know what killed the plant. Like, maybe there was some type of fungus or something that, I don't know about. So I'm going to dump the soil and clean the pot real good. Wash the pot out really well with like hot water and stuff. And you put me a new plant in there. But I don't you re if it's a plant where if it's soil from a plant and that plant died, I don't reuse that soil. I just, you know, throw the whole thing away. If I'm replanting a pot and that plant was healthy and it was all good, then I'll reuse that soil. But if the plant died, no, dump that out because we don't know what's going on. Like, I never saw any critters or spider mites or, well, you can't. I've never seen an actual spider mite. Well, you see these little specks, but sometimes you'll see like real small webs or whatever. I never saw any webs or bugs or gnats or anything like that. So I don't think it was bugs, but it could have been a fungus or something that I couldn't see. Like when I looked at the roots looked okay when I repotted it. So hot water and vinegar. Yeah, you could use vinegar, hot water, peroxide, anything to clean the the pots with. So yeah, spider mites, you would have saw the webs or something. You see something. So it wasn't spider mites. I did not see any bugs or anything. So I don't know what it was. It could have been anything. It could have been a fungus or something, or it could have just been me. It could have been something I was doing wrong. Maybe I wasn't giving it enough water, was giving it too much water. I don't know, but whatever it was, the leaves were just dropping off. It just seemed like every day the plant was losing like two or three leaves. And your plant can't make it if it ain't got no leaves. So it's dead. I mean, the last two leaves that were left on there, they shriveled up and all brown and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. But now I have a pot for a new plant. But I do have a enjoy pothos that is in a really big pot that I think needs to be separated. So I'm gonna take some of that out and put it in here and just make a new. You know what? You gonna stop jumping off this couch before you hurt your back again like you did the last time. You got trick knees and a bad back. Keep your little butt down there on the floor. So you end up back on that tramadol and prednisone and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I have no idea what happened. Phyllis here? Oh, hey, Phyllis. Yeah, I have no idea. They Moth Mama said hi, Gizmo. I have no idea what happened. And educate to liberate. Love your videos. Thank you. Um, I have no idea what happened, what I did wrong, or anything. But it's like that sometimes, you know? And I'm not really tripping because it's not like it's really one of my favorite plants. Like now, if my Hoya, one of my Hoyas died, I would literally have a fit because I am finally getting my one of my Hoyas to my Carnosa Princess to turn pink. Finally. And I've had this plant for probably going on 2 years, and it's some of the leaves are finally turning pink. So, yeah, if my Hoya just bust out and died, I would have a fit. Or if some of my pothos just like died for no reason, I would freak out because I would be like, okay, it must be an infestation of something. I gotta find it. But this aluminum plant, I mean, it wasn't really the prettiest plant to begin with anyway. It was like a funny looking little, um, it wasn't really pretty. So, bye, girl, bye. You know, we gonna do the whole little rest in peace. We gonna do a minute of silence for, you know what? I'm gonna whoop you. I'm gonna whoop you. Jump off this couch again, okay? Because you don't have to keep running over there to that window to see what is going on. Whatever's going on ain't got nothing to do with you. Leave them people alone. They sick of you barking at them. Leave them folks alone. So, yeah, she gone. She gone. And I take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye. Put your lighters in the air to yesterday. Bye, girl. Was y'all singing with me? Moss Mama said, light her up. Put your lighters in the air. I can't be sitting here worried about no one plant, child. Who else was on the sick and shut in list? Oh, I do have one more plant that I think she finna die too. And I'm gonna let her go too. Shoot, I ain't sitting here worried about these plants, child. It is too many things going on in this world without sitting here worrying about y'all. So I was watching a video today with Funky Dineva. So Funky Dineva's father passed away recently, and he was saying that they had like a funeral for his dad in Mississippi, and then they had a memorial service, I guess, in like Florida, or I think Florida, because I think they're from Florida. So, he was talking about how difficult it was to go through two services, um, for his dad and stuff. And I know that Funky Dineva lost his mom, I think last year or the year before last. It's recent. So he has lost both of his parents. And he was talking about, um, kind of going into this depression, which is normal. Being depressed about the loss of a parent is extremely normal. And it's just kind of sad to me that black people don't understand grief. He was saying, well, I gave myself, I put myself on a deadline where I had to get up and, get back into society at a certain time. I gave myself a deadline to basically stop grieving. You can't put yourself on a deadline to stop grieving. You can say it, but that ain't gonna happen because grief will sneak up on you. Before you know it, you'll be back in it. You can't put a time limit on grief. You can't say, okay, well, I'm gonna grieve and be sad and be depressed just for this time, and then I'm gonna get up and get back into the world. It don't work like that. It just don't. My mama passed in 2011, and it's still days when I be like, I ain't got no parents. I don't have any parents or grandparents. It's days when I think about that and be like, I am an orphan out here. My mama, daddy, grandma, grandpa, all them gone. You can't put a cap on how long you gonna grieve over some, especially not your parents. My mama's birthday was the other day. All that grief came back up. All of it. I thought about her funeral. I thought about everything. You can't put a time limit on, how you're gonna grieve. And going into, I'm gonna just stay in my room, I'm gonna stay in my bed, I ain't gonna take no phone calls, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. And then it's time for you to get some help. It is okay to reach out and tell people, I need some help. I am grieving. I need a therapist. Because trying to do it yourself is just not, it's not going to work. I always knew that Funky Dineva had, you know, some issues because he goes through these periods where he's good and productive, and then he'll have these periods where he's cussing people out and disrespecting people. That's anger, and sadness comes from somewhere, and aggression that comes from somewhere. There's a reason behind everybody's anger, aggression, sadness, depression. There's a reason behind that. Something has happened to cause people to act the way that they do. They don't just act like that for no reason. When I lash out at people, it could be because I'm sad, I'm overwhelmed, I'm an orphan. I don't have a mama that I can call when something is going on. I can't call my daddy, I can't call my grandma, I can't call my grandpa. Even when my grandma was here, I couldn't call her with me. It shouldn't have had anything to do with me. But maybe looking at me reminded her of her daughter's failures. And she just didn't want to deal with me because of what my mom put the family through. So I just want to just pretend like her kids don't exist. And my grandmother did a very good job at that. So, yeah, I have abandonment issues. And sometimes if those things come out and I lash out at people, you getting some anger. Because I'm not always able to control. Yesterday, see, I've been getting kicked out of groups and stuff, cussing people out in groups. Yes, I do that. I am human. I ain't gonna lie. I will cuss you out. Okay? Now I will think about it later and be like, you know what? Maybe you could have handled that a little bit different. Or, maybe you should have been able to ignore that person. But then I'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to stifle my throat chakra because somebody said something to me and I took it a little bit farther than what I should have, because that's who I am. If you say something out of pocket to me, I'm going to always trump what you said. If you call me nosy, I'm going to call you a bitch. Because that's me. And if I'm thinking it, I might as well go ahead and say it. Okay? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So don't call me nosy, because if you call me anything, I'm going to always call you something 10 times worse than what you call me. Because people have always said, do you have to take things that far? Yes, I do. I sure do. You know why? Because when I was a little kid, my mother had this thing, growing up, a kid's supposed to stay in a kid's place, keep your mouth shut, you supposed to be seen and not heard, you a pretty little girl, just stay a quiet, pretty little girl in the corner. So I used to have to be quiet all the time, suppressing my throat chakra. Growing up, my whole throat chakra was blocked because I couldn't talk. I couldn't say, what was on my mind. And then when I got older and could say what was on my mind, I just went buck wild. And I'm still that way. But at least now I do have a conscience and I do think about it. But I'd be like, you know what? Well, she shouldn't have said what she said. She got what she deserved. And I still feel that in a lot of ways. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have called her a hag or, a cunt or whatever. But yeah, don't say nothing to me. Because I'm going to come at you real crazy sometimes. You never know where people are mentally, what mental space people are in, what they're going through. That's why you should leave people alone. Leave them alone, because you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, that's me too. I was bullied as a kid. I was a little chubby girl, and I didn't think I could fight and all of that kind of stuff. So, I kept a lot of things in, and I'm not like that now. You say something to me, I'm going to cuss you out. I am. Leave people alone. You don't know what people are going through. Leave people alone. In these groups and stuff, leave folks alone. If the people ain't talking to you, and this was the thing, like I wasn't even talking to this. Now I'm going to show you how stupid this was. So a lady posted a picture of a Christmas tree in a plant group that I'm in. She done put up her whole Christmas tree, presents and everything. And she posted the Christmas tree in the plant group because she put sunflowers on the tree. I'm pretty sure they were fake because ain't no sunflowers gonna last from now until Christmas. So she put these sunflowers at the top of the tree instead of like a star or whatever, like the first couple of rows of the tree was sunflowers. And then she had like sunflowers growing around the tree. It was a lot going on. And it was crazy looking. And she had presents under the tree and everything already. So, she posted the question like, is this too much? Did I do too much? You asking for people's opinion. So I didn't say, she did too much or whatever. Like some people was like, yes, girl, this is way too much. I just said, Why do you have your tree up so early? And this lady was like, because she wanted to. It's her tree, and it's actually none of your damn nosy ass business. And what she say that for? I lit her up like she was a Christmas tree. Okay? I wore her out. I called her a hag and everything. Girl, don't try me. And it was one of them situations where I could tell the lady really was not expecting that type of response. She really wasn't. Because her comeback was like, oh, well, I see you're not a Christian. You're not even a nice person. You're right. I'm not. I'm not. You don't know me. I'm not a nice person. You shouldn't have even tried me. You don't know me. Well, I see you're not a Christian. Girl, if you don't shut the heck up, I done called you all kind of, yeah, I'm not. You're right. That's where that went. And then after because I wanted to see what her comeback was going to be. So since I saw that her comeback was nothing, she was old, scary Susie, I just blocked her. Because you ain't even worth my time. But oh yeah, I let her have it. She probably still she probably still looking at that and was like, "Oh my God, I don't believe she actually called me a bitch. I sure did." Hey, T Shed, T D 8181. Oh, okay. All right. Well, good luck on your exam. Yeah, I do too. I do too, Phyllis. I normally do take a lot before I explode, or I'll just ignore you, period, depending on the type of mood that I'm in. But like I said, yesterday, it just wasn't that day. Yesterday, like the energy around here right now is just weird. And I know it's because that fire brings, fire is destructive and aggressive and hot and volatile. And it throws off that type of energy. And me being a empath, like I'm feeling all of that, explosive type energy. And I was like, okay, girl. After I did it, I was like, ooh, girl, okay, you gonna have to calm down because that was really just really not you. I really try not to call women bitchs. Yeah, because I just hate that. I really do. But she deserved it. It is what it is. You got that one, girl. That's yours. Take that with you. Sometimes you just get you deserve that. Take that with you and sit on it. Girl, I blocked her so quick. She probably wanted to come back and say something else. You know how some people they don't get enough. They want to argue with you, but I was like, no, I'm not about to do that. We're not about to play that back and forth game. No. So I blocked her. That ended that conversation. That's how I normally do people. Once I cuss them out, I block them. Because I'm not about to be going back and forth with you. Hey, KK. I ain't going to do that. I don't have that kind of patience. To be going back and forth with people, I'm not going to do that. Mm-mm. You do that with somebody else. Do that with somebody's child. I was looking at this video on Facebook, and this lady was like, super crying. And I was, normally I hate videos like that where the person like starts the video and they're crying before they get out what they're talking about. Like she started the video and she's just like, and then she usually I will click off of that because I just don't have the patience for that. Tell me what's going on, then start crying. So she said that she had got a call from a detective. I don't know, because I didn't really look at the whole thing, but I just wanted to get the gist of why she was crying. She got a call from a detective, and her daughter, her daughter's information was in the phone of a guy who is a registered sex offender. He had been, I guess, messaging this. I think the girl is 16. He had been messaging this 16-year-old girl back and forth, sending the girl pictures of his private parts and everything. And, the mother was just saying, how bad the situation could have been. Like she was saying to we have to be more careful with our kids' social media and, make sure that our kids are telling us, what's going on. If you don't have the passwords and stuff of your kids' social media accounts and you paying for that phone and stuff, you doing something wrong. Because it is too much stuff going on in this world right now not to know who your kids are talking to, what they are doing on social media, who is up in their inboxes, and all of that kind of stuff. Because the woman said that her daughter never told her that she was communicating with this man. I think that was why she was crying, is because her daughter didn't even tell her. And kids, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you what they're doing. They're not. That's why you got to be nosy. You got to be in their business. Your teenagers should not have no business. They go to school, go in their rooms, tear their rooms up, flip their mattresses and everything. Because these kids is crazy. What do you think I found, like, was finding my son's magazines and stuff? Under the mattress. Boy, if you don't get another hiding place, I make up your bed and stuff. I change your sheets. You don't think I flipped the mattress? Hiding stuff under the mattresses and stuff. Under the bed. Teenagers are not smart. They just as dumb as bricks. You can find out a whole lot of stuff just going in your kids' rooms because my kids would hide condoms. What would you hide them for? You don't have to hide them. Hiding condoms in their drawers and stuff. And I just told my kids, it don't make no sense for you to hide stuff because when you're at school, I'm in your room looking. I'm nosy. I want to find out what's going on. I want to know. And I would rather you come out and just put it on your dresser so I can see it. So I ain't got to tear your room up looking for it. Because I'm going to find it. That's y'all problem. Y'all scared of your kids. They go to school. Privacy? You ain't got no privacy. You gonna have privacy when you move. But as long as you stand up under my roof, you not that kind of privacy. You have privacy when you come out the shower. You can wrap a towel around you and go on about your business when you changing your clothes. I'm not gonna bust up in your room. I ain't trying to look at your private parts and stuff. But yes, I'm gonna search your room. I sure am. My kids was teenagers. I found all kind of stuff. weed, alcohol, cigarettes. Yeah, I'm gonna find it. Stop being scared of your kids. They're not adults, they're children. You need to know what they're doing. Your kids out here popping pills and smoking jewels and hookahs and everything else. Got all this stuff in the house and you don't know it. Why? Because you scared to go in a room because Timmy done told you that he needed his privacy. Timmy, I will slap fire from your teeth. You get privacy when you pay your own rent. I will hit you square in your throat. You tell me you need some privacy. You need that much privacy, then you need to move. And don't call me asking me to help you pay your bills. Yeah, you oh, I'm gonna be looking all. Yeah, I flipped mattresses. I looked under beds, everything. My kids got to the point where they just would leave stuff on the dresser, so you ain't gotta look for it. Cause I'm gonna flip your mattress. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna look. I am. I'll check your pockets, clothes that's hanging up in the closet. Or I'm gonna check the pockets, everything. And then when you get home from school, it's gonna be sitting right where you can see it. And I'm gonna be right there, sitting on the couch. Oh, we drinking now? Oh, what we collecting? You know, like those little bitty bottles of like alcohol. You know, like the little bitty ones, the miniatures. So my son was collecting those, and I think he was probably like 17 or whatever. They wouldn't be opened. He said he was getting them, from one of his friends or whatever. He would go to parties or whatever. Now they wouldn't be open. But you collecting alcohol? Why? You can't drink them? Oh, I just like them. Well, don't like them here. Don't let me see no more of these. Oh, you smoking Black and Miles now? Me and my kids. Oh God, we went through it. We went through it. Okay. I mean, oh, I done found stuff I don't even want to talk about. I had to call their daddy one time. You don't come over here and talk to these kids because I'm gonna end up killing one of these boys. I ain't going to jail behind these teenagers. Teenagers, raising teenagers will make you question your whole entire existence. And I had two. My kids were a year and a half apart. Two boys. And they wore me out. They really did. They wore me out. You got to be on these kids because they worse now. Social media, like my kids didn't really go through that social media era like these kids are now. When my kids were young, they, like Facebook and all of that, like Facebook didn't really start popping until my kids were like 18, 19, something like that. So it ain't like, you know, what it is now. It's a thousand times worse. Cause you can get anything. Like you can get weed and stuff on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like you can get anything. Percocets, pills, anything online. It wasn't like that for my kids. Like my kids had to know somebody that sold weed or, whatever to get it. These kids on a totally different level than my kids were. And if you a parent and you don't know what your kids are doing, especially your daughters, I mean it's bad for the boys too. But the girls, you don't know who your daughter talking to. You don't know who's sliding in her DMs. You don't know who's sending her naked pictures, who she talking to, who catfishing her. It's crazy. It is crazy out here. And a lot of y'all parents are not paying attention to what's going on with your kids because you scared. You want your kids to have their privacy. You don't want to disrespect their privacy. I will knock your whole head off. You come telling me some mess about disrespecting my privacy where I pay rent. When I grew up, if my mama told me not to close my bedroom door, I bet not close that door. If she say don't close that bedroom door, don't slam that door, don't do this, I bet not do it. Cause my mama would run up on me and I swear to God, I really thought that my mother would literally take my head off. I had a serious fear of my mother. But these kids nowadays, they don't have no fear of their parents, mama or daddy. Well, most of them, the daddy ain't tripping anyway. They don't have no fear of their mamas. I used to tell my kids all the time, I will hurt you and sit right here on the couch and wait for the police to come. And if it ever gets to that, you best to find you someplace to stay because you will never come back here. Never. We will never, ever be able to live up under the same roof peacefully again. You won't come back here. And I think my kids believe that. Yeah, I was always scared of my mama. I knew. It's only so much you gonna get away with Lucille. Lucille was not about that playing life. Them old school mamas, you not gonna play with. No, I'm not playing with her. I'm not. I didn't play with her. Yeah, you got to be careful with these kids. These kids are meeting people online. They trafficking. I'm gonna tell y'all when I used to work for this girls group home. These girls would go out, and I think we had about three girls. It was either three or four girls got kidnapped by a group of guys here in Oakland, threw them in a van. Like they had been talking to these guys, hey, what y'all doing? Woo, woo, woo. Y'all want to smoke? Y'all want to hang out? Woo, woo, woo. They got in the van with these guys. These guys drove them from Oakland to Vegas, either Vegas or Reno, to put them in a hotel, to put them on the to turn them into prostitutes. The only way they got out was the guys left them in a hotel and they used the phone and called 911. The police came and picked them up. They had to have a social worker bring them all the way back to Oakland. Now, just like those guys took them out there to turn them into prostitutes, they could have killed them. That's the kind of stuff that will change your child because the majority of them had been removed from their parents for whatever reason. And then they're put in a position where y'all about to be prostitutes. It's just that easy. When I pass by East 14th, which is where a lot of prostitutes are still to this day, walking the streets here in Oakland, these are young girls. Young girls. Young, pretty girls. And they're not all black. Black, white, Hispanic. And the only thing you could think of is where are their parents? You know, like, are their parents worried? Do their parents know that their kids are on the street, walking the streets, prostituting? These girls look young, like 15, 16 years old. And how do we live in a society where these kids are not picked up? Everybody know that East 14th is, the whole stroll. Everybody know that. The police know it too. Why are these kids not picked up and returned to their families or something? But the police ignore it. People ignore it. Like, you can't walk up to, a prostitute and be like, "Where's your family, girl? You don't have to do this." That kind of stuff is scary to me. It really is. But I just said all of that to say, parents, please pay attention. Social media is so dangerous. It is. It's dangerous. I mean, social media is a good thing, but it has a very dark component. And we are responsible for our kids. Our kids are not responsible for themselves. They're not mentally capable to take care of themselves. They think they are, but they're not. They do not make rational decisions at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They're not making rational decisions. So it's up to us to know what's going on. We have to know. We have to know what's going on. Moth Mama said, I hate to say it, half the time it is the parents selling their kids. Yeah, but a lot of kids run away. I've seen it. I've worked with these kids. They run away from home. They get with other kids and they run away because they don't want to listen to their parents. They don't want their parents to tell them what they can and cannot do. So they're like, forget it, I'll just leave. And then they get into situations that are bad. And then the parents go looking for them, can't find them, don't know where they at. Some of them are in, other states. And you can't just leave your job, as a parent. You can't just leave your job to go to another state searching for your child because you still Gonna have bills, that are due and all of that kind of stuff, and to go searching for a kid that don't want to be at home. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do, Phoenix. Traffickers target runaways and get other kids to recruit them. Yes, they do. They get runaway kids, befriend them, and before you know it, you done got off into a crazy situation. And you thought the kid that was recruiting you was trying to be your friend. But they in the same situation. It's a sad situation. They do, Phyllis. They know what to say to get your kids. Mark Mama, are they being abused at home? Not all of them. Not all of them. And what some kids think is abuse is just the parent being strict, how they should be. And they say, "Oh, that's you abusing me because you don't want me to go out with my friends. You don't want me to hang out. You abusing me. You keeping me from my friends." No, I don't want you hanging out with them. And I know that they smoking weed and getting high and looking crazy. Yeah, I don't want you hanging out with them crazy looking people. That's not abuse. That's me being a parent. But see, kids will, take that as abuse. You trying to keep me from my friends. You don't want me to hang out. You want me to be boring like you. No, I want you to be alive. I don't want you to hang out with a bunch of kids who are getting high and wasting their life. That's not abuse. But yes, there are some kids who are being abused, and they run away because there's a lot going on in the house. Maybe the mother or father is alcoholic. Maybe they're being physically abused. There are kids, and I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. Please don't think that I'm saying that that doesn't happen, because yes, I know that that happens. But there's a flip side to that also. I know that kids don't want structure. Teenagers don't want structure. Teenagers want freedom. They want to be able to do what they want to do because they feel like they're older and they should have more freedom. But that's freedom that you have to earn. If you have shown me that I can't trust you, then you don't deserve that type of freedom. You don't deserve it. And if I see who you hanging out with, no, I don't want you hanging out with them. Getting high and getting drunk, those are things that you don't need to experience. And my kids used to tell me stuff like, everybody don't want to be square like you. Like my kids used to, when they were teenagers, well, they still say I'm a square. Everybody ain't trying to be a square like you. We just want to have fun with our friends and stuff. But yeah, getting high and drunk, where's the fun in that? But like my mom used to always say, bought sense is better than told. When you go out here and start to realize that, the friends that you got high with and stuff is sitting up in jail now, or you go to jail. Because both of my boys have been to jail, to the county jail. Then they realize, okay, I ain't doing something right. I don't want to be here. All right, I'll see you when you get back. Because I'm not going to come visit you not one time. Because I had told my kids, you go to jail, I ain't coming. I'm not going to visit you not once. And I didn't. D- Teenagers are just kind of like toddlers all over again. The difference, then you think that because they're older, toddlers freak out and throw these tantrums because they don't have the words to communicate their needs. I can understand that. If I couldn't find the words to say what I want to say to tell you what I need, I would cry and scream too. That's all they can do. They don't have enough words yet, or they don't know how to put the words together to tell you what they need. Teenagers are the same way. They have the words, but they won't say them. Teenagers have the words. They have the words to communicate their needs, but their hormones and mental capacity is keeping them from being able to sit down and tell you what's going on. So they keep all that stuff bottled up in them. So they're big toddlers. Teenagers are just big toddlers. That toddler stage is crazy. Then they kind of mellow out around four, from 4 to 11 or 12, 11 probably. They're okay. Really good kids. 12 to 17, you want to kill them. You just want to choke the life out of them because those hormones kick in. They start to smell themselves. They, you know, think that they're older and they can do more things, and they want to be independent, but you're not ready for that independence. But they think that they are. So they're a handful. They really are. They can be a handful. Yeah. 4 to 10 or 11 is the ideal age. You love them. You have really, really fell in love with them. And then they become a teenager and you be like, what? What happened? What where'd that cute kid go? Why did I get you? I don't like you. Oh my God. And then they're like, but I don't like you either. And it's just this conflict. But then when they get like 20, and I know that does not sound good. But when they get like 20, you know, 20 something, then you start to like them again. That's because they have moved. You start to like them again. Because now, my kids, both of my kids are, my youngest just turned 30, and my oldest is 32. Um, I actually miss, there are days when I actually miss them. I don't want them to live here, but, but I miss them. Like, I really like them now that they have moved. And, I don't have to take care of them or listen to them or deal with them every day. I like them living in their own place. They teenage years, I think they took some of my lives, because like cats have 9 lives. I think when my kids were teenagers, they both zapped a couple of my lives from me. Who died at 23, Phyllis? Who died, Phyllis? Oh, your nephew. Um, your sister's son. Oh, okay. Yeah, I said I was gonna write a book because, whew, I got some stories to tell. I just don't want to tell them on here. But my kids have done some really interesting things. Like stuff you wouldn't even imagine. Like you would look at me and be like, "Yo, kids?" Yes, mine. I have an interesting life. Very interesting life because my children are basically the exact opposite of me growing up. Total opposite. And I know a lot of it is, you know, just a change in generation. You know what I mean? Like every generation is different. They grew up different, their peers were different than my peers were. So I have a really interesting story. And I do one day want to sit down and just um, write it out. This is interesting. And I just, like I really want to be honest about what it was like raising my kids. I mean, because they know that they stressed me out. They know that. They know they did. I do want to talk about it one day, but I don't know. I mean, just from, my birth, like that whole story is interesting. Yeah, yeah, Essie. That that's why I won't say it here. Because it's too many, it's way too much. I've seen people go to people's Facebook pages and get pictures and posting it on. That's why I'm like really careful now about, what I say. I don't really show a lot of, but people will go to your Facebook page and steal pictures off of your Facebook. All kind of stuff. I've seen some crazy things on YouTube. People posting people, deceased people's family members and all kind of stuff. And I don't want to deal with that. That's why I stay away from a lot of those people. I mean, I watch, but I don't want to get involved in that. I really don't. Because that kind of, a lot of stuff that I see that people are doing, that stuff is hurtful. Like, I don't know. Like, I probably would leave YouTube. My Facebook is locked down too, but I don't know. I don't know. I think my Facebook locked down. Yeah, my Instagram is too. But I had there was a mole on my Instagram. So one of the people that did not that does not like me is on my Instagram, and I have not figured out who it is. I have no idea who it is because I thought that I had blocked everybody, but apparently I haven't. Because there's people out there just looking for stuff, like they're unhappy, so they will do whatever they can. And it's too many people, like my haters still watch. They still watch. They can't comment because I got them blocked, but they still watch. They can't find you in a search result on what? On Facebook? When the kids get home from school. I can always tell when they come home because they be super loud. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are. They're just miserable people and they want to do on Facebook. Oh, okay. I hope that's how mine is too. Kim Possible 101. Okay, I think I remember. But I mean, people do what they want to do. If that's how you want to live your life, watching somebody that you don't like, do that. Didn't I tell you to stop jumping up and down? Huh? You're not listening today. You being a bad boy. You know that? You being a bad boy. You know the kids are getting home from school. You don't have to keep getting up to go look out the window and see what's going on. That's just the kids coming home from school. He's so nosy. And anytime he hears somebody, he got to get up and run over to the other window so he can look out. Like he can really see what is going on. He can't see them because they're in the next apartments over from us. So he can't see them because there's a gate there. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure gonna go look and see. I'm gonna go check and see, Phoenix, what check the settings to see. Cause I sure don't want none of these crazy people from YouTube going over to to my Facebook or whatever. But I don't think they can because my Facebook is private. I don't know. If they do, it is what it is. But that's it, y'all. I'm finna go and take me a nap and probably close these windows because I opened the window because if I don't open this window right here when I'm talking, I get too warm and it looks like it's hazy, you know, and like I can still smell the smoke in the air. So I'm about to close this window because I think all the windows upstairs are already closed. This one is only cracked, but still, I'm gonna close this window and probably go and take me a nap. I need to call my medication refill in to Kaiser so that it'll be ready for me to pick it up tomorrow and see do I have I need to get my blood drawn. So I might check and see. I wonder can you call a lab and ask them do they have a thing for you? Like did my doctor call in a because I think I have a standing order for my thyroid, but I'm not really sure. But I'm gonna check and see that and call in my medication. I may come back later if something interesting happened. Let me tell you guys this. So there's a haunted house somewhere in LA. And if you finish the whole haunted house situation thing, it is a $20,000 prize. But you have to sign a waiver. You have to get a your doctor has to fill out a form that you are healthy. I was listening to this guy. He was talking about it. He said that there's like a waterboarding type situation. They may make you eat your own vomit. They throwing goat poop and pee at you. I was like, huh? Who is doing who is doing that for $20,000? I need to find the whole article so I can read the whole article to you guys. It is a $20,000 prize. But when he got to eating your own vomit, I was like, no. Mm-mm. And you're not going to throw no goat pee and poop on me either. But eating my own vomit? No. For one, what is going to make me throw up? And then how are you going to force me to eat my own vomit? What are you guys going to do to me to make me throw up, for one? And how do you make me eat it? No. If you sign a waiver saying that you are accepting the challenge, I don't know. I thought waterboarding was illegal. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that, I don't know. But I do want to find the article. I do too. I literally have a fear of not only me throwing up, but it's called, I forgot what it's called, but there is actually a phobia of vomit, and I do have it. When I get sick, I just start sweating and crying and everything when I have to throw up. It's a whole process. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I literally have a panic attack when I throw up. And if I see somebody else throw up, I get, oh, I just, it's bad. I can't even see Gizmo throw up because when he gets sick, is oh God, it's horrid. Because he's so little and it's just so, it seems like it's so hard for him to get it out. I can't even watch him throw up. It's a human? No. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna eat some throw up. I would die first. Yes, he didn't put the clocks up. It's time for us to go, y'all. Plus, I need to charge my phone anyway. We've been on here an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, y'all. If I find the article, I'm gonna come back and tell you guys where it is. I'm about to Google and see if I can find it, and I might come back later on tonight and tell you guys where it is. But if not, then that probably mean I can't find it, or I might see if I can. Maybe the guy put it in the description of his video on YouTube. So, okay, I will talk to y'all guys later. I love y'all. Thanks for listening to my rambling because we didn't talk about everything under the sun today. And I will either see you guys later on this evening or I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.